Why most people will never escape paycheck-to-paycheck living. For millions, living paycheck to paycheck isn't a temporary setback. It's a way of life. No matter how hard they work, how many promotions they earn, or how unexpected money comes their way, financial stress never seems to end. Recurring bills, surprise expenses, and the pressure to maintain a certain lifestyle keep them trapped. Many assume that simply earning more, budgeting better, or working harder will solve the problem. But the reality is far more complex. Escaping this cycle requires understanding the behaviors, habits, and mindset that keep people financially stuck. Before starting the video, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe to never miss out on any of our videos. Income alone doesn't solve the problem. One of the biggest misconceptions is that earning more automatically leads to financial freedom. Many people assume a higher salary will solve their money problems. On the surface, this makes sense. More money should mean more financial breathing room. But for most, it doesn't. Why? Because higher income often fuels lifestyle inflation, the tendency to spend more as your earnings increase. A bigger paycheck may fund a nicer apartment, a new car, expensive gadgets, or more frequent dining out. Instead of creating a buffer, higher income becomes a tool to maintain or even escalate spending habits. Lifestyle inflation is a silent wealth killer. Lifestyle inflation is subtle but devastating. Many people unconsciously adjust their lifestyle as their income rises, often without realizing the impact. A $5,000 raise doesn't automatically increase net worth. It just supports a more expensive lifestyle. For example, someone who rents a modest apartment may move into a larger space as soon as their salary increases, then splurge on furniture, gadgets, or travel. Over time, this pattern keeps people tethered to their paycheck. No matter how much they earn, expenses rise in tandem, leaving nothing for savings or investments. Breaking free requires intentionality. Earning more should first fund financial goals, not lifestyle upgrades. Lack of financial literacy. Most people never receive formal education about money management. Schools rarely teach budgeting, investing, debt management, or the psychology of spending. As a result, people rely on trial and error, social norms, or advice from friends, which is often flawed or incomplete. Without financial literacy, it's easy to fall into debt traps, mismanage credit, and miscalculate expenses. Many think they're managing well until an emergency or unexpected expense exposes the fragility of their financial foundation. Financial literacy isn't about memorizing rules. It's about understanding money flows, leveraging systems, and making informed decisions. Emotional spending and psychological traps. Money isn't just a numbers game. It's emotional. Spending is often driven by feelings, stress, boredom, envy, or a desire for social acceptance. Psychological triggers can push people to make financial choices that undermine long-term goals. For instance, keeping up with friends' lifestyles on social media can lead to overspending, even when it strains your budget. Similarly, retail therapy, dining out for emotional comfort, or impulse purchases can quickly erode income. Paycheck-to-paycheck living isn't just financial. It's behavioral. Changing habits requires self-awareness, not just stricter budgeting. Debt is a major contributor. Debt is another major reason people remain stuck. Credit cards, personal loans, student loans, and car financing are often treated as unavoidable parts of life. While debt can be useful when leveraged wisely, most people carry high-interest debt without a repayment strategy. Interest payments consume a significant portion of income, creating a cycle where people work just to service debt. Even when earnings increase, the added money often goes straight toward payments rather than savings. Debt is a trap that keeps people anchored to their paycheck, limiting both flexibility and growth. Emergencies and unplanned expenses. Life is unpredictable. Medical bills, car repairs, home maintenance, or job changes can blow even the best laid plans off course. Without an emergency fund, these events force people to rely on credit, borrow from friends, or use their next paycheck to catch up. Paycheck-to-paycheck living isn't always due to mismanagement. It can also be the result of living without a financial buffer. Building an emergency fund is essential to break the cycle, but it's a step many people overlook or postpone, keeping them vulnerable to financial shocks. Social and cultural pressures. Society often glorifies consumption. Advertisements, peer pressure, and social media create the illusion that happiness comes from more stuff, experiences, or appearances. Many feel compelled to spend in order to keep up with others, regardless of their actual financial situation. This cultural pressure reinforces paycheck-to-paycheck living by encouraging constant consumption instead of saving and investing. Escaping the cycle requires resisting social norms and prioritizing long-term goals over temporary satisfaction. The false promise of budgeting. Budgeting is commonly recommended as a solution, but for many, it fails. Traditional budgets demand constant monitoring, discipline, and willpower, resources that are often limited. People can feel restricted, stressed, or deprived, eventually abandoning the plan altogether. Instead of a rigid budget, systems work better. Automate savings, create simple spending rules, and focus on behaviors that build wealth over time. A systems-based approach reduces reliance on willpower and creates sustainable financial habits. Fear and mental blocks. Fear plays a silent but powerful role in keeping people trapped. Many avoid looking at their finances, fear taking calculated risks, or hesitate to negotiate salary and opportunities. Others believe wealth is for someone else, or that they'll never break the cycle, reinforcing a self-fulfilling prophecy. Escaping paycheck-to-paycheck living requires confronting fear, embracing financial education, and cultivating a mindset focused on growth, not limitation. Mental barriers are as real as financial ones and must be addressed. What actually works? Escaping paycheck-to-paycheck living isn't about strict budgets or earning more. It's about systems and habits. Automate savings and investments so money grows without relying on willpower. Control lifestyle inflation. Let raises fund wealth first, not bigger spending. Build an emergency fund to cover unexpected costs and eliminate high-interest debt that drains your income. Focus on income growth through skills, side hustles, or career advancement. Track key metrics like net worth and savings rate, not every dollar spent. Most importantly, shift your mindset to prioritize long-term financial security over short-term gratification. Systems, consistency, and discipline create freedom. The power of consistency. Escaping paycheck-to-paycheck living doesn't happen overnight. It requires consistent action, discipline, and self-awareness. Small, deliberate steps, saving automatically, avoiding unnecessary debt, and investing regularly compound over time. Consistency turns financial behaviors into habits. Once systems are in place, you don't rely on willpower, and wealth accumulation becomes almost automatic. For most people, the challenge isn't knowledge, it's execution. Those who commit to sustainable systems gain freedom that others never achieve. Final thoughts. Living paycheck to paycheck isn't a sign of laziness or failure. It's often the result of habits, mindset, and external pressures. Many people remain trapped because they rely on income alone, fall prey to lifestyle inflation, accumulate debt, or fail to build systems that make wealth automatic. Breaking free requires financial literacy, self-awareness, and systems that prioritize saving, investing, and wealth-building behaviors. It's not about how much you earn, it's about what you do with what you earn. By addressing habits, mindset, and behaviors rather than chasing short-term fixes, escaping paycheck-to-paycheck living becomes not just possible, but inevitable. Thank you guys for watching. If you want more videos like this, make sure to like the video and hit subscribe button. and we'll see you in the next video.